And we're on. Okay, hey. Yeah, I know. I look different with the glasses. Yeah, I know. Very fun. Um, so if you're not that big into the WWE 2K community, um, well then you wouldn't know that on Monday, um, WWE officially announced that 2K25 is coming and that it is going to be officially announced on January 27th. But it seems like that on January 28th, we are going to actually be able to pre-order the game, and we're probably going to get a trailer. So January 28th, we're probably going to be able to pre-order and see the trailer. But before we get into that, we're going to take a look back on WWE 2K24 and my issues and what I absolutely loved with the game. So to kick things off here, I'm just gonna mention real quick that the topics I'm gonna talk about is like just basically every single thing that is a part of it. Like so story mode or not story mode, but my career, play like exhibition matches, I guess. My GM, my faction, and I think that's it. No, showcase. So let's get started here. So to start things off with, showcase mode. So showcase mode, in my opinion, was pretty awful. I didn't really like it. I just felt like that the game the entire time was just bossing you around. Like there were too many objectives to do. Um, that's just how I felt. Because and there was also so much matches that was there, and I don't remember if I went off about this on another video, but I was thinking about saying this in a video, and that's how ridiculous. By the way, I'm gonna say ridiculous a lot in this video. Sorry, not sorry. And that's the ridiculousness of WrestleMania matches. So 2K24 was supposed or was not supposed to, but was trying to go off that WWE 2K14 feel. If y'all don't know what happened in 2K14, 2K14 was the first game published by 2K, made by THQ. And it had like a showcase mode, sort of, but it was called 30 Years of WrestleMania. And basically, it would take you through multiple matches throughout WrestleMania's history, all the way until WrestleMania 29, and they would also give you a concept of what WrestleMania 30 was going to be. So you would get every single WrestleMania arena, and you would also get a concept art of or not concept art, but you would also get a concept arena of WrestleMania 30. So it was really great, and 2K24 was trying to go for that feel. That's why this one was all about WrestleMania, not about a specific wrestler. And they did it, but worse. Like I said, it feels like that they gave you too much objectives to do rather than like what 2K14 did, which was basically just go out there, have fun, but also do these objectives because this you got to recreate the moments. Okay, they would also have this special thing called WrestleMania moments. Not in this one. This one just wasn't that fun to just do. It sucked. It absolutely sucked to just do everything that they wanted you to do. It wasn't great. It wasn't fun. But also the ending was really shit. The ending had you do a Royal Rumble of every single person that you played as throughout the entire showcase mode, which is like why would I want to do that? But if you were into that, then that's cool for you. But the rewards weren't that great. Honestly, the rewards were pretty bad. Um, and it would take place in, for some reason, the WrestleMania 10 arena. You couldn't even choose your own arena. It just automatically took place in the WrestleMania 10 arena. And you had to start out number one, and they made you. They did specific objectives for you, which to sum it up, it was all the same, and the three objectives, it just had you eliminate superstars. That's all it was. So you couldn't cower around like like I would have done. I would have cowered around, but no, you had to actually eliminate 10 people. Because it was like eliminate 5 people, or I think it was like eliminate one person, or eliminate 3 people, and then I think it bumped it up to 10. It was 10 or 5. I don't really remember. Um, it was terrible. I hated it. Um, so the showcase mode wasn't that great. Let's go into the let's go to my GM. My GM was pretty all right. Same as all the other years. Although I think that they should give you an option in 2K25 to get rid of injuries, because that was one of my big complaints. I don't think I made a video on 2K23 and 22, but that was one of my big complaints on those games, was injuries are way too frequent. Um, you can barely book your a superstar in just like a regular match, not even in a Hell in a Cell match or a Steel Cage match, but just a regular match without them getting injured. And it's really hard because after they get that injury, they start back on like 40, I think it is, which isn't that great. It's not that great. Yeah, 100 is the highest it can go. Zero is obviously the lowest it can go, and they get injured way too often, and it seems like it's way too hard. Even on the easiest difficulty, it is way too fucking hard to deal with, just because of that, like that simple issue of injuries, 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 injuries. I want a more experience of, hey, I don't want to fucking deal with injuries. I just let me have fun here. I just want to have fun there, and then injuries are kicking your ass. They also did another thing that I think is stupid, which is add what was it called? It was called something stupid. But basically after every week you would be able to get one of them, and we'll call them like studio boxes. I don't remember what the hell they were called. So every week you would get a studio box, and in this studio box you would be able to purchase certain like abilities, like you were able to in the last game. In the last game, you were able to like set specifically like able on lights and shit, um rather than like another thing. If you had the money, like arena, you could get a better arena with the studio boxes. But yeah, that I didn't like that feature as well. Um, it's the same as 23 and 22, except ECW. They added ECW, which people were really excited for. Um, which personally I wasn't really that excited for. I just felt like, oh hey, it's cool. We're not going to be able to really book that much Extreme Rules matches, especially because they cost like $20,000 to produce, and also injuries are fucking insane. Like, you can only do special match types at the end of a pay-per-view, and even then, you're really risking, oh hey, your superstar is going to be injured. Why? Because you didn't take good care of them. And it's just like, I can't have them run 5 matches without them getting injured. Either they need to get rid of an option to do that, or they're going to have to, I don't know, like lower the rate of getting injured, because like I said, it's fucking ridiculous. Um, Onto the story mode here. The story mode is pretty simple. So I guess we'll start out with the men's, the one that really wasn't that great this year. Um, so in this one, you follow through a certain wrestler. By the way, I'm going to try to get this without any spoilers. Um, they try to get you, or basically Roman Reigns retires, and after he retires, he gives up the WWE Championship because no one was able to defeat him. And since nobody was able to defeat him for the title, they're doing like a tournament of the vacant title. And sorry, excuse me. And you are a wrestler who has been in the company for a long time then, but you're like a lower ranked wrestler. You haven't I don't think you've held any titles up at that point. You're basically like if who's the best example here? Like Carmelo Hayes, I guess, if he didn't have the NXT run. You're basically like Carmelo Hayes if he entered this tournament. You're pretty popular, but you're not really that popular yet. So, and you go after the title and you win it. But now you have to face up against these challenges faced by your boss, and also you are trying to defeat Roman Reigns' 1,316-day reign, which I forgot what it was in this game, but I'm just gonna say 1,316 because that's what it was in real life. So you're trying to defeat his 1,000 plus day reign, and it kind of just feels like, hey, you know, this has been going on like if this was real, everybody would absolutely fucking hate this shit. Because can you imagine that Cody Rhodes did something like this? Like Roman Reigns' 1,316-day reign is finally over. Holy shit. And then it goes to Cody Rhodes and he holds it for over 1,316 days. I feel like the plot is kind of stupid, but I guess at the time, it was cool to just have there. I don't know why I said at the time like it wasn't a year ago, but I feel like it's a cool idea, but not that great. Honestly, not that great. Um, it is just a basic story. There's not much to really do in it. You get to do like these other shit though. That's just like, oh hey, that's kind of cool, I guess. And then it just kind of it also I don't know if this is gonna be like a minor spoiler or not. So take this as a minor spoiler, but there's also a lot of time skipping, which it's like, okay, why? And you know why there's time skipping, but it's like, why? Why the hell would there be any? I don't know. It's because there was one specific time where they time skip into a match. So it's not even like they time skip you into oh hey, here's a segment, here's another segment, and then you go into the match. No, it just automatically takes you to the match. Like you have no clue what's happening, but they just take you to the match, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck did I miss? Um, Also, it like I said, it was the weaker point of the story. Wasn't that great? Not that fun. Um, On to the what's it called? The women's story mode. The women's My Rise. I said my career earlier. My Rise. The women's My Rise uh was probably the better one of this year. To sum it up, you're like an indie wrestler, and you get put in as, if I'm remembering correctly, you get put in as what's the right term here? You get put in to use as a squash match, I believe. I could be wrong about that. I don't really remember. I really don't. Um, I probably shouldn't have said that squash match thing. Either way, they bring you up into Monday Night Raw, and you are now on that brand. And during that brand, you go through so much cool shit. Like they put you through three different story things, and one of it is like a supernatural story. The other one is one with Rhea Ripley, and the other one is a movie actor. Those are the three stories that you get throughout this thing. And then it eventually all leads up into your like the final like story thing. and now you only take one path instead of having to choose between one, two, or three. They also have a cool system in this that I thought was really great with Psycho Sally, because Psycho Sally is featured throughout every one of these things. You can you can choose like a specific dialogue thing. Like if you talk to a specific person, um, then it will automatically set you up as Psycho Sally in the next match, where you not only are going through your own career, but while also going through Psycho Sally's career. I felt like that there should have been more of a payoff to that, but I don't really think that there was any payoff to Psycho Sally. It just kind of seemed like, hey, there's some uh there's some things that you should do with her, and then never see her ever again. She might show up in the next game. I wouldn't be surprised if she showed up in the next game in the women's My Rise, maybe even the male's My Rise. But it was all right, you know. They were kind of both on par, except the women's My Rise was just obviously a little bit better because you also you also have to deal with like because your friend is the promoter of the indie scene that you were on, like let's just say Ring of Honor. Imagine you're working at Ring of Honor, and then your boss is your friend, the promoter is your friend, and then you leave them to go to WWE. So you also have to deal with that at the same time, and she's just like reassuring you the entire time that, hey, I don't give a fuck that you left. That's basically what it is. She just doesn't give a fuck. Um, but it wasn't that bad of a story. I actually really liked it compared to the men's My Rise. Not that bad. Pretty fun. I'm going to see something real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I was just checking because I knew there were 6 modes. I fucking knew it. So on to the next mode, uh, universe mode. Now, I played universe mode for a little bit, and to say the least, how do I put this in the right way? It's like WWE 2K23, but worse. It's because they have title matches during the week, which may not be a huge complaint for some of y'all, but for me, I feel like I really love just going to certain things like just pay-per-views and shit, and then see the title matches there. I don't like going week after week after week after week of not seeing any title changes, and then be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go to the pay-per-view, and then there'd be like a drastic change. Which also, I'm gonna say this real quick: Santos Escobar is like the greatest wrestler alive. He keeps on ending Roman Reigns' streak, and if he doesn't end Roman Reigns' streak, he keeps on at least winning the title after like a year. It's fucking crazy. Like I did not know he was that fucking insane, but apparently Santos Escobar is an absolute like beast of a human being. It's crazy. Um, but that's going off track a little bit. It's basically the same. They didn't really change anything. I heard that there was a few new cutscenes, but I don't spectate matches in the game. So, but if you do, then I guess that's something you should look forward to if you are going to get the game. Um, it's not nothing too special. Nothing too special. Um, like I said, same as 2K23, except they have title matches through the weeks for some reason. Which, like I said, I absolutely hate. I fucking hate that shit. But it's cool to have there. Um, so yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it with that. Basically same as 2K23. Not that great. Still the same. Apparently new cutscenes. I don't know. Like I said, I don't check that shit. Um, but it's still the same. So on to play, or exhibition. I'm just gonna say play though. So play slash exhibition. is, in my opinion, really fun. I love doing exhibition matches. I absolutely love doing it. I heard that a big complaint with this game was that there's not much things to do, in that it's really just, after a little bit of playing, it's not that fun. After a little bit of playing, it just gets pretty boring and you just kind of lose interest. I've never had that experience. Every time I've played the game, I really enjoyed it. I really loved playing it. It's not that bad. So if somebody says that the replayability is pretty bad, I'm gonna have to disagree with them. Although I can understand where you are coming from, because I think there has been times where I have just not really felt interested in playing anything, but excuse me. But yeah, no, I feel like that the replayability was pretty good. I really enjoyed it, at least. And they also added in 3 new things, which was special guest referee, casket match, and ambulance match. Now, I don't know who really wants to play special guest, or not special guest referee, casket or ambulance match. I don't know who wants to play those two. They're not that great. They're basically the same, except one's on the outside and one is also on the outside, but you have to throw them from either the ring or from the outside. But with the ambulance match, you have to throw them just from the outside. You can also do moves on the ambulance. You can also end it in the backstage, which the backstage isn't any really different. When I heard about the backstage, I was like, oh my god, this is going to be crazy. All they really did was they added an elevator and they added an ambulance. And then you can also pick up a water bottle and throw it. Which also, you can, if you break the announce table, you can get a water bottle, which is pretty fun. I really enjoyed that. They also added weapons within every DLC. Besides the WCW one, they actually added a arena for that one. And also the WrestleMania, they also added an arena for that one. It was all pretty fun, all pretty good. The DLC was pretty alright. I really enjoyed the DLC. I think it was the last 2 that was really just like, oh no, it was not the last 2, sorry. It was the Pat McAfee pack and the WCW pack, not the Global Superstars, I think they were called, something like that. That was actually pretty fun. I really loved that pack. That was probably one of the best packs, if not the best. I'll probably say that the best pack, though, was Punk pack, ECW Punk pack, because that was just really amazing. I'm a huge fan of CM Punk. So the fact that they added him back was really awesome to just have in there. Now, back to exhibition, it's pretty fun. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. That's all I can really say about it. The match types are pretty much the same. There's not really any different ones. They didn't really change anything within the match type. They changed a few things within the move set and everything. But other than that, it uses the same standard shit from 2K23 and 2K22, just with fucking better or not better, but how do I say it? Super finishers, for example, they added that. They just brought in some new moves, I believe. They also treated the Pat McAfee pack as a new moves pack, which I wish that they just didn't add it then. I just wish that they added just the new moves pack. I really would have just preferred them not adding any of them besides Pat McAfee and the new moves along with him. I felt like that's what they should have done. But no, they decided to bring his friends along, who weren't even wrestlers. So, now on to the last thing. I'm preparing myself for this because I already know that I'm going to talk a lot about this, and I'm going to try not to because the video is going to be probably over 30 minutes long at this point. It's not going to be fun editing this. It's not. But I guess we'll get into it. So the final thing is my faction. I'm sorry. So my faction, if y'all do not know, is shit. It's shit. My faction came into 2K22, and they were also a part of 2K23, and they've been in 2K24. But they did something different with my faction that made it worse. Actually, it made it feel like it was way worse than it was before. So 2K22 and 2K23 really it's what brought in microtransactions into WWE games, because back then there would be certain character packs and shit, but that's all it was. Like, it's a one-time payment. But they decided to bring in points, or VC. It's called virtual currency, that you have to pay for. You have to pay for it, or you have to get locker codes. Now, I've never spent a single penny on this game, other than getting the DLC. That is the only time. Sorry, I should say I've never spent a penny on getting VC. VC is not that great, honestly. Not VC itself, but my faction itself is not that great. Everybody knows it. It's just shit. It's not that great. Everybody hates it. I don't think I've seen a single person say that they absolutely love my faction. I've never seen a single person say that. But the one thing that my faction was not doing was great on sales. I'm guessing. This is my guess. Now, the reason why it wasn't doing great on sales is because who the fuck wants to pay for cards? That's ridiculous. Who the fuck wants to do that? So that was the main issue with 2K22 and 2K23, at least from a business standpoint, was they would be releasing these cards and shit, and you could play as specific wrestlers and certain gear if you did own it. Now, how do I say this? How do I say this in the best possible way that I can? The way they did it this year made my faction way worse. Except from a business standpoint, it was really great. So I made a video on this before, and I made it, I think, 20 minutes long. If you want to check that out, check it out. I guess it's just a rant. I'll try to lower it here, because this is supposed to be an overall review of WWE 2K24 and not just a blatant rant on this subject, which, you know what, it probably will turn to be one. It most likely will. I hate my faction. I hate it. I absolutely despise it. I absolutely hate it. And one thing they did this year to make sure that you do buy it is through the exhibition menu. So in the not to make sure you buy it. I haven't even got into it yet. So this year they decided to add Persona cards. What are Persona cards, you may be asking? Persona cards are cards that are a different persona of another wrestler. Like, for example, CM Punk now and CM Punk of the Straight Edge Society. Obviously the same person, but different personas. So you would get stuff like that. It was really fun, really great, really cool. But they locked it behind a paywall. So that just made it really worse. It's just ridiculous on what they did here. So I'll try to go through everything like one by one. Like, all of them are ass. Faction Wars, they changed up though. They did change up Faction Wars just a tiny bit. Not just a tiny bit, by a fucking lot. You now have to have certain points to play my faction, or not my faction, to play Faction Wars. You have to actually get points instead of just going in there, doing it. Instead, this time you go through certain different paths it's not really fun, but at the end you get a face off against a boss, and the boss can get you something really cool. that you can play with, or not play with, but you can buy earlier, or my god, I gotta stop stuttering. That you gotta play later, so you can just purchase the characters with my faction points that you have earned before, or not my faction points, but like points that you get for playing the faction wars thing. Proving Grounds is the same. It's just a copy. It is literally the exact same as it was before. And Token Market is really bad. Token Market is it seemed like they hit that shit up with inflation. It's not that great. It's the same, but it's on steroids, and they're like, hey, you gotta play way fucking more in this game in order to get tokens. I believe that the highest you have to go in order to unlock the Galaxy Opal, which is the highest thing to get, is, what was it again? Like 200, I think it was. It's a fucking lot. It should not have been that much, but it was. It's like 200 in order to get it. And you also have to unlock 10 cards, which is the certain amount that you can get, throughout, I think, like 3 through the rest. So like the first 2 you have to get like, I think 5 it was. And then after that it's like, oh yeah, now you have to unlock every fucking card in here. And it's like 50 or 75 to get every one of them in the pack, and then it bumps up the price to 100. And that's just like on Emerald and Ruby. It's stupid. I hated it. And then there was the live events. Live events was basically the same as 2K23, except this time it's just the same. They added in something new that I'm going to talk about here, just in a tiny little bit. So that's basically what I think. I think that's every mode. I feel like I'm missing one. Ranked. They added online mode. I think they did that for 23, but I don't remember if they added a ranked mode. Ranked is all right, you know. Or sorry, when I played ranked, it was shit. Ranked was literally unplayable. Not even ranked, just casual was literally unplayable. You could not do anything in there. It just sucked. It just sucked doing it. Having to just be like, man, when the fuck is this going to end? And then it would just end. Like when you're just getting there, you're just like, man, I wonder how long it's gonna take for the game to fucking crash. And you know what? The game would automatically crash. Like not the game itself, but the match itself. So there was an achievement. I'm an achievement hunter. Okay, I'm a completionist, and in this, you have to get a certain amount of ranks on, or a certain amount of score on season mode or season play, I think it was, and that's what I did. I did that exact thing, and it was really time lengthy because you had to complete the matches that you needed to complete in order to get rewards for it, and then after that you had to wait about, I think it was 2 months in order to unlock the achievement. So it was really time lengthy, and it was really just like, my God, just give me the goddamn achievement now. I already placed the rank. Just give me it. But you know, they also did something that really sucked. They didn't fix their goddamn servers. So what I had to do is I literally had to cheat. There were some times where I got my opponent counted out. I brought them, I lured them to the outside, and I beat the shit out of them. And then I went back inside the ring and got them counted out. That was like basically what I did in order to not let the game crash, because it was so much times where not even 2 minutes had passed and the game had just crashed. Like, it would just say like, oh, hey, internet problem. And my internet's running fine. So unless every one of my opponents has McDonald's Wi-Fi, or they're just going through a fucking tunnel at that exact point, I just think that the servers were shit. So I also had to get disqualified a couple times because it just says you have to rank, which you have to play a certain amount of games in order to rank. You can't just play one. You have to play, like, I think it was 5 it was that you had to complete. You didn't even have to win them all; you just had to complete them. Uh, so I got myself disqualified a few times as well. And it was so hard to do because sometimes the opponent did not let me hit them with a chair because why the fuck would you want to get hit by a chair? Is this some kind of fucking hack? Because a lot of fans do that. Actually, a lot of people that go into online games just cheat to fucking to just get the win. So I didn't like that though. Like I actually experienced that once in like last year's game. I'm sorry, getting off topic here. Um, Not that fun. Not that fun. In all reality. So what was the next one? I think that's it. I think I get into the main point here. This is gonna be a 40 minute. This is probably gonna be 50 minutes. Holy shit! So they added in something new into this that made what I would say my faction worse. What did they add? Persona cards. They added in Persona cards, which we got into briefly. But we didn't get into it heavily because I completely forgot that my faction had other modes. So I felt like I should have talked about that as well. So what were the modes that they added into this? The modes that they added into this were, or not the modes. What the fuck am I on about? The Persona cards that they added into this were like I said, from certain wrestlers, but they fooled us. They bamboozled us with saying how great this is gonna be for the game, just how great this is gonna be just in general, and they set it off by saying something like oddity cards. Guys, oddity cards are literally the fucking worst. I hate oddity cards. I hate them. So I got into this with another video. I know that for a fact. I don't remember if I uploaded it, but I believe I did. It was in that same video about my faction that I talked about. That was like a 20-minute long rant. And oddity cards, they started off hot. They started off really great. They started off with just them being plastered everywhere. They started off with Persona cards being added there, and there. The only problem about it was there were 5 oddity cards, or 5 things that you can get with oddity cards. And to do an example of an oddity card, basically there would be a wrestler that you could get, but in order to get that wrestler, you had to get 5 oddity cards of that specific person's thing. So like The Rock had like a $500 jacket, and like the Nation of Domination's Papa Shango's hats, and then there would be like someone like Roman Reigns, which I don't remember if I think that was the same time. They added Roman Reigns, which was the Ulafala they had in there. I remember that one. They also had a Cody Rhodes one. And then there were 2 other ones. What were those other 2 cards that I'm talking about here? Not oddity cards, but just cards in general. The other 2 was Trick Williams as a Persona card and Seth Rollins as a Persona card, but as a Shield variant. So what happened here? What happened was they okay. Even though they started off hot, they started it off hot in the wrong way. Like I don't know how I should use this as a phrase, but it's like there were people cold and shivering in one corner, like on the other side of the street. There's people shivering and cold, and then the fire is all the way on the other fucking side. Okay, so and no one's by the fire. So they started the fire, but it's not hot, or it's hot, but it's not for the players. So the oddity cards that they gave you were for the Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and The Rock. Why the fuck would you want those 2? Like, and people were talking about it like it was great. Like, oh my god, we're getting these oddity cards. It's so amazing. And with me, I just felt like, hey, why? Just why? Because they they gave out the oddity cards for Seth Rollins and Trick Williams like they were gold, like that they were keeping it, like they were the fucking leprechaun from the Lucky Charms ads, and he would be protecting his pot of gold or his pot of Lucky Charms. He'd be protecting that shit. That's how they felt. They felt like, oh hey, here, take the no. I'm sorry, you can have those other oddity cards over there for people that are not Persona cards, and it was fucking crazy. It was ridiculous. They also throughout this entire thing never got Cody Rhodes a Persona card, which that's just like a little minor detail, but I thought that was crazy because they also did a little glitch where they said Cody Rhodes did have a Persona card in the live events feature, and then when they actually brought him back, or when they actually brought him into the game, and the live event was actually playable, they took away the Persona card thing, which I felt like that was just supposed to piss people the fuck off. Like they didn't even clear it up online or anything. They just had the Persona card thing on it, and they brought it to the one that you could actually play, and they got rid of the Persona card thing. So it was just like, okay, why the fuck am I gonna fight for this random ass Cody Rhodes? Oh my god, he's Persona card. Then they actually added him, and then they just fucked you. What was the other ones I wanted to talk about here? We were on about oddity cards, I believe, yeah. So, another thing I feel like I should add here is they later added 2 of those oddity cards to be actually unlockable through something they have called the card market. I'll get on that in a little bit, though. So, the Persona cards... Shit, how should I say this? The Persona cards, or not the Persona, the oddity cards, were just like, how do I say this? The oddity cards were basically how I said, they're not that great. They gave them out like they were just nothing, at the beginning, but then they just kept it to themselves while not giving you any of the Persona cards. And if you actually look at it now, I think there's only a few ways to get oddity cards, or I think it's actually 2. I think there's only 2 ways. No, it's 3. 3 ways to get oddity cards, and one is, or 2 of them are just, hey, if you haven't played Proving Grounds or it was Proving Grounds and Weekly Towers, then you should get it. That's basically what it is, because Proving Grounds has certain oddity cards, and then Weekly Towers has 1 oddity card, and it's not even for a Persona card. It's for Cody Rhodes' Stardust attire. But you may want that. I'll get onto that actually probably right now. So I mentioned this into my last video on to my faction, which was them adding in oddity cards for the shop. So if you wanted a specific like card thing that you wanted, but it wasn't currently in the card market, well then you would have to buy the pack. Now the pack, if you look at the bottom, you could see that it has an oddity cards option. The oddity cards have a less than 2% chance of getting, which is crazy. It has a less than 2% chance of getting an oddity card from the shop. So you would have to buy 50. Statistically, you would have to buy 50 in order to get 1 oddity card. And you can't choose the oddity card. So if you're 1 away from getting like that Trick Williams, then oh fucking well, fuck you. And don't forget, you also have to pay for it with my faction points, or actually having to pay with it for money, the virtual currency. So you have to do that shit, which is so annoying. It's just so annoying to do. Also, another thing I want to feel like I should mention here is they added in two more oddity cards things, like characters that you can get with the oddity cards. What were those two, you may be asking? The two that they added were Randy Orton from 2009 and the Undertaker from the what's it called? The Boneyard match in 2020 WrestleMania 36. They added that shit in there as well. Okay, what's the problem with it, Ashton? My problem is it's still fucking oddity cards. That's my problem. And the only way to get it is through paying so much fucking money, where statistically you would have to pay, or you would have to get 50, which there's 5 of them, so you would have to do, what is it, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250 fucking card packs, and let me add this, you would have to pay 250 cards in order to statistically get it, and also, let me say this real quick, you don't choose the oddity card that you fucking get. So you have to hope that you don't get one from The Rock, Roman, or Cody. Which those are the only 3 that are out there, luckily, besides the other 5. So you will most likely get one of the other 5, other 5. But later down the line, you're going to most likely get one from The Rock, Cody, or Roman. And even if you do, who the fuck wants to pay? There's 5 of them, so 250, 500, 1,000. You have to pay 1,250 fucking packs, and that's if you only don't get any of the ones from Cody, Rock, or Roman. Statistically, you would be able to get all of the pack or all the oddity cards. You'd be able to get 4 wrestlers from the oddity cards if you pay, or if you get 1,250 fucking card packs. Who in the living fuck out of their mind is going to get 1,250 card packs? No one. At least I would hope nobody. Because they also added Persona cards. Now, Persona cards are literally the fucking worst thing in the world. I hate this shit more than anything I've ever hated in my entire life. And it's crazy to think about. Because... Okay. Give me a little bit. I'm sorry. I'll try not to go on a rant. But I definitely will. So, the Persona cards are just... They're just shit. They're sometimes good. Sometimes they are. But the cards that they use are really good. Like the people that they use, besides there was like 2 of them that I felt like were really just like, oh, why? But other than those 2, I felt like, oh yeah, the oddity cards or not the oddity, the persona cards are really great. They're not that bad. The cards themselves are pretty great, but they lock it behind the most expensive paywall you have ever fucking seen. So I'll go back onto this with the Punches and Promos pack, which started off how terribly this was going to go. So, you would have to get 5 wrestlers from the pack. 5 wrestlers, which, if you got an Amethyst Sami Zayn, which was really hard to get. It was hard to get Amethysts, Rubies, and, just Amethysts and Rubies. It was really hard to get them. But if you were able to get 3 specific Rubies and 2 specific Amethysts, you were able to get The Rock from 2024, which... Hold on. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Give me a second. He had a tattoo and wore a tank top. that, yeah, he wore a tank top, had a new tattoo, and then that's what they did with him. They added new commentary, but visually wise, and you couldn't edit them, by the way. You couldn't take off his tank top. He had a tank top and he had a tattoo. So if you wanted to get The Rock, you would have to go through those requirements. Which I'm not going to mention the Sami Zayn. I'll mention it. So also with Sami Zayn the Amethyst card had like a little objective to do. If you got him and you were wanting to do the Rock thing, you could also go to the live events and you could get Roman Reigns' Persona card from that, which was really great. It was really fun, and it was really great to just have that there. But then, you would go online, which is what I did, and I wanted to see how other people felt about this, because I felt very strongly against this. I really felt like that this was the dumbest decision that they have ever made. I did not like it. I absolutely fucking hated it. I despised it by a lot. Like I said, I really despised it. I really hated it. And so I went online to see if anybody even got The Rock because of how difficult it was to get him. And I saw this one YouTuber I used to watch, and he said he spent, if I'm correct, $700 trying to get The Rock. And I felt like then and there that I knew it. I fucking knew that this shit was gonna happen in the next game. Because $700 is a crazy amount. $700 is way too fucking much to spend on getting The Rock with an updated tank top and a tattoo. So the moment I saw that tweet of him saying that he spent $700, by the way, the person I'm talking about is This Gen Gaming, or TGG. So either way, it was just like really sad seeing that. I was just so like upset about it. It was just sad, seeing like, damn, $700 fucking dollars down the drain just so you can get a Rock attire with an updated tattoo. So, what is there next to say? They never released The Rock as well. And if you wanted specific cards for like The Rock or something, so you decided, hey, I'm gonna go to the card market to get both Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and the 3 people that you needed to get him, well, then you're shit out of fucking luck, because you would have to spend a lot of money on getting them. I think you'd have to spend over, was $200? I think it was. You had to spend over $200 to get everything. It was really bad. It is really bad. It's still pretty bad, yeah. Especially for how much they've even like included nowadays, or not nowadays, but included now. They added so much more Persona cards, and it was just like, wow, just wow, man. And you already know that they're going to do this for 2K25. Because if someone's willing to spend $700, which also I heard from that same person that that other people have also spent like $500 on the game to get The Rock with an updated tattoo in a tank top, which is just fucking insane. To a point where I'm just disappointed. I'm just disappointed. As a community, I'm just disappointed onto what we have done here. I'm disappointed on the fact that not many people are talking about this as probably they should. I feel like that people should talk about just how awful this is, and how from a business perspective this is really smart, really amazing, honestly. But for the fans, for the consumers, for the ones that are the ones that are actually paying, like what I did, I paid the $129 thing. Yeah, tax $129 for me. I paid a lot of money here, for this game, and I felt like that. Yeah, no, $130 should get you everything that you need for a game, for a wrestling game at least. $130 is already what I would say overpriced. I feel like $130 is also just like really expensive, but at the same time, I want to complete everything. I want to get everything, so I like to spend the $130, $129 to get for this game. So it was really expensive for me, and knowing that people spent more money on getting The Rock with a tattoo and a tank top, that's just really disappointing to me. And like I said, as a community, I feel like that we shouldn't be able to take this as we are right now, because right now they're just spanking us with money, or like in the face, like just slapping us, not spanking. They're slapping us, just beating the shit out of us because they know what we want. They know what they know where to hit us at the best, and they even added CM Punk's alter egos, which if y'all don't know, a lot of people online are wanting to have This Fire Burns back as a theme song, but this time in 2K24, you are able to spend about $50 fucking dollars. Also, that's another thing I'm getting on. You can pay, I think it was $75. You'd have to pay $75 in order to get the Rock, or not the Rock, the action figure Hulk Hogan, which is crazy. I feel like that's way too overpriced, but fuck it, do it, I guess. That's more than the standard price to get an elite action figure Hulk Hogan. Um, yeah, I'm really disappointed in us. I'm disappointed in this community. I'm disappointed uh, by 2K. I'm just disappointed all around. I am. I hate it. I absolutely hated what they did. Um, I'm just out of words. I'm disappointed. I am. I'm sorry. And I accidentally slipped this up earlier, but one thing they do is if you have something like OCD, for example, um, they really fuck with that a lot, because if you go to the play section, they do this with DLC as well. They actually on the screen show you that you are missing the shit that you need. They show you that you are missing out on these items, and they won't even let you see them. So I can see, like, down the line if someone's going to make a video on this game. Um, so it could be like you spend like 5 days, or not 5 days, 5 years, like down the line. I could see someone purchasing the game like on a disc or something. They plug it in, they're ready to play the game, and then they get blasted with, "Hey, you don't own this, you don't own this, you don't own this," and they can't even get it now because they can't fucking get it now. And so they're going to have to see all the time of playing the game that, like, hey, you don't have CM Punk. Hey, you don't have the Dudley Boys. Hey, you don't have Jade Cargill. Hey, you don't have Nia Jax. Hey, you also don't even have the superstar that's locked that you can't even fucking see. So, to me, just, this happens to me a lot, I guess. I don't know if I have OCD. I don't think I do. But, I do get triggered a lot every time I do go and see the fact that they are locked onto the play screen, because I just know I can't get it, and I know I won't get it. Because who the fuck is going to spend over $100, or sorry, $700 to get the characters that they wanted in the game? I'm not going to do that shit. That shit's awful, and I'm not doing that. Even if I had the money, if I was a millionaire, I still wouldn't get that. If I was a trillionaire, I would look at that shit and just be like, that shit is overpriced as fuck. That should not be happening, and it shouldn't. And I'm really disappointed in us as a community. The fact that we are taking this and we're just cool with it. You know, we're not doing anything with it. We're just cool with it. Um, I'm probably not going to edit this video. I was going to, but that's because I thought the video was going to last 20 minutes. The video is an hour long, so I'm sorry for going on a rant about that. But like I said, I'm just ashamed in us. I'm ashamed that we're just taking this, and I'm ashamed that no one's talking about it. Um, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so fucking much. And the devs knew, the developers knew, 2K knew that this. They probably did know that this isn't right. You know, this is not right for them or for anyone to deal with. This is not right. Just in general, it isn't right. But at the same time, fans are paying. People are paying. People spent over $700. Probably spent over like what $10,000 probably to get the Rock and shit. They spent $10,000 so they can get that shit. By the way, I'm pulling that shit out of my ass, but you know that's just an estimated guess. You know, let's lower it to 5,000. People probably spent over $5,000 getting this, and they know that. So they're obviously going to do it for the next game. There's no shot. I heard people saying that, oh, if 2K25 is going to get good, they're going to have to get rid of my faction. Yeah, they fucking are. But do you think they are? No, they aren't. They're not going to get rid of my faction. That's just going to stay for the rest of our fucking lives because we pay for it. We fucking pay for it. You know, we pay for it all the fucking time. And we just take it. We're just like, oh, yep. You know what? It might be $700 to get the Rock with a fucking tattoo and a tank top. But you know what? It's the Rock with a new tattoo, and he's an updated version of the Rock with special commentary. I don't know who the fuck would pay $700 for that shit, but you know, you may want to. Like I said, really disappointed us as a community. I feel like I rambled on for too long, very too long. Like I said, I'm not editing this. I'm not going to edit this video. So I just, yeah. If you want to just take an hour of your day, just watch this video, I guess. That's the end of this video. I'll see y'all guys next time.